Let's talk about getting set up for the bench press. What's too high, what's too low, how to put your body in relation to the bar, and why that stuff matters. So the first thing is bar height. You want to make sure you get the appropriate bar height set up before you put any weight on the bar. Ideally, we want a position to where we just have about a 2 to 3 inch lift or extension, and then we bring that bar out to our starting point so we can begin our lift. If the bar is too high, you're gonna have to reach up and kind of come off the bench. You're gonna lose your shoulder position. You may even lose your upper body position in order to get that weight out over you, which you could overshoot, and then you're trying to balance and stabilize before you actually hit the lift, which can fatigue you before you even begin. Same thing, if it's too low, we almost have to do a full repetition to get that bar off. And so then we, again, have the risk of pressing too much to try to get the bar out, and then we're trying to stabilize before we even begin our lift. Back to the bar being too high, when we go to re-rack the bar, it's dangerous because then we have to try to get up onto the pins and make sure that we have a successful re-rack. And if we don't have that and we miss, or we don't get back there adequately, that could be very dangerous, especially under fatigue. If the bar is too low, you're either gonna hit the top of the pins, which could cause the bar to fall down, or miss the pins completely. It could also be that you are trying to get the bar back and then you're trying to control the bar to get down to the pins instead of just going straight back and dropping down that couple of inches if you were in your proper position. So let's take a look at what too low looks like. So you can see I have to do a big range of motion in order to get that bar up and out over the body. So you can imagine what that would be like if there was actually weight on the bar. Now when it goes to re-rack, we want to be able to just drop that bar straight back and drop down. Now, if I hit the top of this and it does this to one side and this side hits and like flicks off and falls, there's a lot of things that could go wrong there. Or you're trying to control the bar down to this position and almost doing a bit of a skull crusher or tricep extension in order to get that bar back into position, which can be very dangerous, especially if you're under fatigue. Now let's take a look at what too high looks like. So you can see I kind of have to press upward in order to get that bar off. I lose my shoulder position, I lose my upper body position, and then when I go to re-rack, I can't just shoot straight back because those pins are too high up. I have to reach up and try to get that bar back onto those pins, which can be very difficult if I'm under fatigue and I don't hit that position that I need in order to get that bar back on. Now, ideal height. Now that we have ideal height, we want to talk about some other things. We want to make sure our feet are flattened to the floor, our hips are against the bench, we have a slight arch in the back, the shoulders are nice and flush with the bench, our head is down, and our eyes are right underneath the bar. Why does that matter? Because when we lift that bar up, we clear the pins to a point where we can safely press and not feel like we're going to hit these pins, which will throw us off and create a mishap in our movement. So we have that bar right over the eyes. We are going to press up, and that brings us straight out. So you can see that small movement that it takes in order to lift the bar up off of the pins, and that brings me right out into my position so my wrist is over my shoulder or in line with my shoulder. As I descend, I bring that bar into a slight half moon pattern, so that way my wrist maintains in alignment with my elbow. I press up, and then my wrist is in line with my elbow and my shoulder. When it comes time to re-rack, then I just drop straight back. I have nothing to worry about because I know my height is ideal, and I slide that bar down so it's nice and stopped and in a solid position. So being able to just drop that bar straight back is much easier, much safer, much smoother, and we put ourselves into a position for success rather than risk. Thanks for watching.